So there's been a number of high-profile incidents recently in Canada involving Black and Indigenous and other racialized folks following encounters with the police, and some of these have had lethal outcomes. So there's now a question as to whether further representation within policing would address some of those issues. The police force currently has a representation of about 23% of people who are visible minorities, which is not in correlation with general statistics around visible minorities in Canada. But I think that diversity in policing doesn't address the systemic issues around policing culture itself, around the role that the police have come to occupy in our society. And so while there are some current asks around a more diverse police force to address these issues, I think that we again really need to look at the root cause solutions rather than tinkering with the optics of police. So for many years, Pivot's police accountability campaign has made calls to the police at all levels, whether it's federal with RCMP or provincial with RCMP or municipal police forces, and municipalities themselves to really diminish the role of police in responding to crises of social inequality. And I think that in defunding the police, we would have the opportunity to invest in institutions that can actually be preventative. So things like housing, access to safe supply, culturally safe and appropriate healthcare, treatment that is dignified and actually patient-centered rather than policing, which comes in with a certain lens and bias, and as we know, can often have very dangerous or fatal outcomes. So in our work, we know that many communities don't feel safe right now, even though they're very policed. We regularly hear the sentiment that people feel over-policed and underprotected, particularly in communities where there are large Indigenous or Black populations, communities where people are using substances, and I've often heard them share with me that the police actually make them feel less safe, that the police presence in their lives actually disrupts how they would even find safety, it disrupts their peer networks. So we have an opportunity right now to reframe what safety looks like in our communities. And for a lot of people, safety might mean having a stable place to live, not being displaced daily from a tent that they're sheltering in. And I think that that's what the broader conversation around defunding means. It means really examining how people have been forced to keep themselves safe despite years of disinvestment in a number of peer, social, or community-led programs.